students, this is your Sachin sir. I hope you are doing your solutions and problems that are being given as a task, and some of the students are sending me the solutions of the problems. That is, we are discussing now the final account without adjustment part. It's quite good to know that various students are coming out and solving those problems and sending me the snapshots of those solutions. Okay, but still some of the students are not solving those problems, so I request to those students to please solve those problems so that quickly we can move on to our next chapter. Okay, in spite of that, avoiding it, we are going to solve another problem of final account without adjustment. Because today I have chosen such a problem where you will be getting items that you know but will be a confusing. See, the thing is that when you come to know regarding the solutions of the problems, you get to know how to solve the procedure or the way or the treatment regarding the solutions to the problems. Okay, but the thing is that when you move on to problem one by one, you get little bit higher problems. I mean to say that the volume of the transactions given are more, or the items that are given may not be familiar with you. Okay, you will not be acquainted with those items that you see in the questions. Okay, so I have chosen such a question where you will be finding some new items. Means those items you have already posted, but such items are given some synonym names. Okay, so today we will solve a problem which is a bit confusion from various students. So I am going to solve that problem of final account without adjustment. Okay, and I will send you this question in the group. So please see the question attentively. Please pay attention. Read out the question properly. Find out the items where does it belong. Then watch the video so that it will be a better understanding platform for you. Okay, so please watch how the problem is solved. Okay. Okay students, so we are going to solve question number 18 of your same book, Kalyani Publisher, Double Editor Bookkeeping. Okay, so as the question says, the following balances appeared in the account books of Nirmal Traders on 31st March 2006. Prepare trading and profit and loss account of the firm for the year ending 2009. So as you can see, I am taking question number 18 and I have drawn the format earlier so that it saves time during the video. If I draw it, it simply consumes time and labor. So see, I have written here trading and profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March 2009. Here balance it as on 31st March 2009. Okay, so in accordance with this phase, I am solving the problem. While you watch the video, rotate your screen and you can zoom in. Okay, so let us now solve. The first item that is given here is opening stock. Okay, so as you know, opening stock goes to debit side of trading account. Okay, so here we will write to opening stock. Okay, so opening stock given is 9,600. Then the next is wages and salaries. Okay, so let's see, various times these items comes as wages and salaries, salaries and wages. Okay, so never to confuse within it, because some of the students are doing what? They are dividing the amount and they are putting the proportionate amount to trading account and the proportionate amount to profit and loss account. But you don't have to do that. Okay, so the thing is that if the item is given as wages and salaries, so what you have to do is you have to take it to trading account, because the name starts with wages account. If it is given salaries and wages, so the name starts salaries, and salaries are paid to the employees. The employees work in the office, and office related expenses are indirect expenses, and indirect expenses are taken to profit and loss. Similarly, as I told you, if the name starts wages, are paid to the workers. Workers work in the factory. Factory related expenses are direct expenses, and direct expenses are taken to trading account. Okay, so if it is given wages and salaries, blindly take it to trading account, and if it is given salaries and wages, take it to profit and loss account. Never divide the proportionate amount and take it to two financial statements, not required. Okay, so wages and salaries is given, so we will write here. See, I will write it down because I will leave space for purchases. These are the initial item that has to be recorded in trading account. Okay, so I am writing here wages and salaries. To wages and salaries. Okay, so wages and salaries are given as 3,200. Next, commission on purchases. See, purchase related expenses are always said to be the direct expenses. No way it is related to production, but before production or related to purchases means the expenses are called as direct expenses. So commission on purchase is a direct expense and we'll write on the trading account. Okay. So to commission on purchases. So commission on purchase is given is 200 rupees. Next item is freight, and mind you, freight is also a direct expense made on the purchases. So to freight. Freight is given as 300 rupees. Next, net purchases. So purchases, net purchases means, see, that is why I told you that I am choosing a question having items little bit different from the questions we have solved earlier. See, net purchases means what? And what is gross purchases? Purchases means that you bring the goods for resale or for production purpose, that is in the form of raw material. Net purchases means the expenses that are made on purchases are excluded, or sometimes returns are also excluded. So that is what you call as net purchases. Mind you, when you are solving the adjustment related to capital, okay, the opening balance is given, you are writing it in the inner column. Then what you are doing, you are adjusting the profit or loss, interest on capital, interest on drawings itself, and you get the net amount. So that is called as the net capital amount or the adjusted capital amount. Similarly, purchases and sales can be also given as net value. So net purchases or net sales means any sort of expenses that are made on purchases or sales are excluded or deducted, and only the purchase amount is put in the financial statement. So that is called as net purchases. Okay, and sometimes also returns can be also excluded from those purchases and sales. Okay, so never to get confused with that. It is also an expenses and it will go to trading account. So purchases is given as 11,850. So I am writing here, since I have left space for this, to purchases 11,850. Then next is net sales. Sales is given is 24,900. So sales is a direct income or the only direct income that you have. So we'll put on the credit side of trading account. Okay, next, trade expenses. See, trade expenses, as I have told you that it is the expenses that are made for both purchase and sales. Since it is not mentioned that this expense is made only for purchases, in that case it is taken as indirect expenses because it is made for both the purposes. Okay, so we write it in profit and loss account. Let I give you a space for profit and loss. So I will write here to trade expenses. So trade expense is given as 20 rupees. Then next is bills receivable. So you know, students, bills receivable is a asset. What kind of asset? It is a current asset. So we will take it to the asset side of balance sheet under the head current asset. Okay. Bills receivable. So bills receivable is given as 600 rupees. The next item is rent. Since it is not said rent is paid for what purpose, definitely it is a debit balance. Okay. Since it is not mentioned it is paid for factory or for office, so we will take it as a indirect expense only, because unless mentioned you should take expenses as indirect expenses, and I know indirect expenses are taken to profit and loss. Okay. So write here to rent. So rent is given as 200 rupees. The next is plant. Plant means the business location. Okay, so the business side. So plant is a fixed asset. We'll write under the asset side of balance sheet. Let us categorize it as fixed asset, and then we write here plant. So the value of plant given is 2000. Next is administrative expenses. See, as the name clarifies, expenses made for office or administrative purposes are called as indirect expenses. So here it is given administrative expenses. So definitely it is an indirect expense and it will be taken to profit and loss account. Okay. So 2 administrative expenses. So administrative expenses are 500 rupees. Next, repairs to plant. Repair is also indirect expenses, no way related to production. Again, it is an indirect expense. We write here to repair to plant. So repair expenses is 160 rupees. After repair, that is cash at bank. Cash at bank is again your current asset. We will write here. So cash at bank given is 200 rupees. Next item after cash at bank is debtors. Again, debtors are the current assets. Okay. So debtors is 4,000. Okay. Then after debtors, it is given income tax. Okay. So it is an important item that is found till now in the questions. See, what is income tax? Income tax is the tax that is paid on the income of a certain individual. So in your business organization, who is the individual owner? So by the name it seems it is an expenses. Okay, definitely it is an expenses. But the question arises is, it is an expenses for whom? Okay, income tax is definitely the expenses. But the question arises is, it is an expenses for whom? For the business or for the owner? Because as you know, as per the business entity concept, two persons are arriving in the business. That is one natural person, that is your owner, and one is artificial person, that is your business. So the thing is, this is an expenses for whom? For the owner or for the business. If for the business it is an expenses, you can identify it into direct or indirect and you can post in trading or profit and loss. But if it is an expenses for the owner, then you have to identify in a different manner. See, income tax is paid on the name of an individual, not paid by business, so it is not an expenses of the business, but it is an expenses of your owner, because in the business only one person pays the income tax, that is your owner. Okay, if it is related to your employees, it is none of your business. It is not a transaction or not an item to be posted here. But if income tax is given as an expenses in your book of accounts, so this is definitely not an expense of business, but it is an expense of your owner, because income tax is always paid on the name of an individual or for a certain head. Okay, so if it is an expenses of the owner and paid by the business organization, since it is paid by business organization, it is coming in the trial balance of the book of account. Okay, so income tax amount is paid by the business, but paid for whom? For the owner. So definitely this is what drawings. As you know, any sort of contribution given by the owner to the business is called as capital. That may be anything, cash or kind. Similarly, vice versa, means any sort of contribution or any sort of expenses made by the business for the owner. So in the reverse case it comes drawings. So this is the expenses of the owner but paid by business organization, means from the business cash box. Okay, so this is an expense of the owner but paid by business, so it is taken to be as drawings. Never consider income tax given in the trial balance as your expenses. It is an expense of the owner, not of the business. But since business paid the amount of income tax for the owner, it is a drawing, because business paid some benefit for the owner. So definitely it is a drawing. So we will deduct it from capital. So the item called capital has not arrived yet, but I am writing here in the deduction part, less income tax. Okay, you can write here drawings also, but since it is the item we got it first time, I am writing an income tax, but definitely income tax is not to be written here, it has to be written as drawings. Okay, so income tax paid for the owner is 550 rupees. Okay, So the next item after income tax is see drawings. So you can add the income tax to the drawings. But since for the first time we got this item, I have written it is at a separate item. Okay. So now there is drawings. So drawings is 650. Same drawings are deducted from capital. Okay. Then after drawings we have capital finally. So capital is a liability or fixed liability. It is taken under the liability side of balance sheet. Okay. Capital is 5,000. Yes. Students, I have made a mistake. It's not a major mistake. See, I have to write here fixed liability, but I haven't written here. I have posted the income tax and drawings amount. So while you post these items or when you prepare this finance statement, please mention here fixed liability. Okay, I have not mentioned here, but you should mention it. Okay, I don't want to rub it and make it unprecise, so I am not rubbing it or erasing it. So when you write this finance statement, please mention fixed liability here. Okay. Then we have bills payable. So bills payable is a liability. What kind of liability it is? It is a current liability. Okay. So I am writing here because we have to give space for fixed liabilities. The amount of bills payable given here is 500. Okay. Then the next item given is loan. So loan is definitely a fixed liability, so it will be coming here. Loans. So loan is given as 900 rupees. Then we have the next item as discount on purchases. See, discount on purchases means when you purchase the goods and you get discount. So definitely the discount is a credit balance or the discount is a income, because when I purchase the goods and the trader gives me discount, so that is discount received. So discount received is a income. What kind of income? Indirect income. So I will post it in the credit side of profit and loss account. Okay. So discount on purchase given is 400 rupees. So I will write here by discount on purchases. See, the name here is given as purchases. That doesn't mean it is a direct income. As you know, the only direct income is sales. Okay, there is no other direct income. So discount on purchases is 400 rupees. Then the last item that we have here is creditors. So creditors are your current liabilities. We will put it here under the head creditors, current liability. So creditors are given as 2,330. Okay, so our posting of the items are over, and in this question there is no amount of closing stock given, so we can start closing the accounts. Okay, see, we have posted all the items. Only one mistake that we made or that I made here is I did not categorize this at fixed liability, and since the transactions are much less, we are having much space over here. Okay, now let us close the financial statements. Okay, and we'll check that whether we are getting the answer or not. Okay students, now we will close the financial statement that we have solved here. Okay, we have made all the postings. Now we will check whether we are getting the answers that are given in the question or not. Okay. So as you can see here, the total is, we'll put the total amount first of all here. We are having much space, so not to worry for that. So we can post precisely. So see, it seems that the debit total of the trading account is more than the credit total. So let us see how much we are getting here. Okay, if there is any mistake, then we will make the calculation again. See, since I made lot of calculations, so by experience I can say that the debit side total of the trading account is more than the credit side. If you have any doubt, you can make calculation, then only you can put, don't put directly. Okay, so this total comes here is 0 and 5 235, 27, 815, 621, then 2, 9, 11, 11, 22, 325. So the total of this side is coming 25,150. But see here it is coming 24,900. So the highest total is 25,150. So according to matching concept, the highest total is put on both the sides. Okay. Now, so as we can see, the total of the debit side is more than the credit side. So definitely we are getting here loss. So I will write here by gross loss. Okay. Carry it down. So similarly, we can write here to gross loss, because you have to post on the opposite side, and here it is written carry down, here it should be written brought down. Okay. So I have already left space for that. If we have profit, we could have written here. If it is loss, then we will write here. Okay. So let us see how much loss we are getting. This is 25,150. This is 24,900. Okay. So the loss is we are getting is, we will subtract it. Okay. 5 and 11 and 2. 250. So the loss we are getting in trading account is 250 rupees. Let us see. Yes, the answer we got is correct. Okay. So gross loss is 250 rupees. So we will put it here. 250. Sorry, you should not circle here. Okay, so I have put the gross loss simultaneously in the profit and loss account. Let us see whether here we are getting profit or loss. The situations when we are getting gross loss, definitely in the question we will be getting net loss too. But see how much we are getting here. And obviously the debit side of the profit and loss account is more than the credit side. So definitely here indirect expenses are more and the indirect incomes are less. Only one indirect income is there. So definitely we are getting loss here again. Okay. So we will put this total on both the sides, because see there are a lot of items in this single item. But these items are more than that. Okay. So let us take the total of this. This is 250, 200, 500, 160. Okay. So 5 to 6. Then we put 0. Then 6 to 8, 5, 13. 1, 1, 2, 5, 7, 2, 11, 2, 13. This is total comes 1330. Okay, see 0 and 6 to 8, 5, 13. 1, 1, 2, 5, 7, 2, 9, 2. 13, 1, 1, 2, 5, 7, 2, 9, 11. So this comes 1130. The total comes here 1130. Wrongly I have taken 1330. Okay. The same comes here also. The total of the debit side is 1130. Here it is 400. Let us check how much loss we are getting. Okay. So we are getting loss as 730. And we have got the correct answer. The net loss given in the answer is 730. And same we are getting. See 1130 minus 400 is 730. You can write it more down so that it will be more visible. Okay, 730 is your net loss. You write here by net loss transferred to balance sheet. Okay. Okay, so the gross loss that we got is 250. We have made calculation, and the debit side of the profit and loss account is also higher than the credit side of the profit and loss account. So we got here total 1130. So subtracting this indirect income, we got 730 as the net loss. Now the net loss is to be put in the capital. Okay. So net loss brought forward. See, so net loss brought forward is 730 rupees. Okay, so now we will make the calculation of the adjusted capital amount. Again, I am telling you, here I have forgot or omitted to write the fixed liability heading. When you will solve this problem, please mention the fixed liability over there. Okay, I am not erasing it to make it more unprecise. Okay, so let us see how much they are getting. These all are the subtraction amounts. Okay, So this is your 5,000. See, this is the capital amount. I am making it here because I can erase it afterwards and I am writing in the marker pen. But see, I am not having here space for calculations, or even I am not using any calculator. So I am advising you not to use calculator. Okay, do it in the rough areas. Make proper calculation in your rough areas so that you can add the answer properly. Okay. So see here, capital is given is 5,000. Then we have income tax 550. So I am subtracting it. Let us see how much we are getting. So we are getting 4,000. Sorry, 4,450. Okay. So after subtracting 5,000 and 550, we are getting 4,450. You can cross check also. 5 5 10 1 4 5 5 10. Okay. Then we have to subtract the drawings amount, that is 650. So 0 0 8. So we are getting 3,800. And again we have to subtract the net loss, that is 730. So 0 and 3 7. Okay. So we are getting the adjusted capital amount is 3,070. See, we got 3,800 here. We subtracted the net loss that we got. Okay, from 730 we got 3,070. 0 7. Okay, so the final adjusted capital amount after making all the adjustments like the drawings, income tax and net loss is 3,070 rupees. Okay, so we will put here 3,070 rupees. Now we will erase this one. Now the final calculation is the totaling of the liability and the asset side of balance sheet. So let us check whether the total comes or correct or not, because till now we have got the correct answer as gross loss, the correct answer as net loss, that is given in your question. Now let us see whether the balance sheet tallies or not, and as you know, if it does not tally, definitely we must have made any mistake in these two financial statements. But mostly if we get these two answers correct, this happens to be the correct always. Okay, so let us see still. Okay, so this side let us check how much we are getting. 0 3 7 10 1 3 4 5 9 9 18 1 2 3 3 6. So see, we are getting the total as 6,800, and okay, we are correct. So see, the liability side total of the balance sheet is 6,800, and the same amount is given in the answer also. As I have told you, if we get these two answers correct, there are 99% chances that we will get this answer also correct. But if we make any mistake in the calculation, in the totaling, or in the making the calculation of the adjusted capital account, so definitely we will be making mistake in the tallying of the balance sheet. So see, the liability total comes correct as given in the question. Now we will see whether the total of the asset side also comes correct or not. Okay. So 2,000, then 600, 2,600 plus 200, 2,800. So plus 4,000 is 6,800. Okay, don't worry, I will make you show the calculation again. See, this is 2,000 plus 600, so it comes 2,600 plus 200, it comes 2,800. So 2,800 plus 4,000 comes 6,800. See, the balance sheet tallies and the answer comes correct as given in the question. Okay, we have got the correct answer in the form of gross loss. I have taken it as a brought down to the debit side, and the opposite side, that is 2 gross loss brought down 250. We have got the correct answer as net loss because the indirect expenses are more than the indirect income. So we got loss of 730. Similarly, same net loss is brought forward to balance sheet, and we made the adjusted capital amount as I have shown you here. And the total of the liability side and the asset side tallies and matches or comes the correct answer that is given in the question. Okay, so see, I have written as the space is here. Okay, and I made the calculation just in front of you to show that the answers are coming correct. Okay, I can make the calculation verbal also just to make you show how the calculation is made, and the calculation is correct and precise. I just made it over here to make you show. Okay, so I will send you this question in your group. See the video properly, understand how it is posted. Okay, little bit 2 to 3 items that we have posted, like income tax, wages and salaries, commission on purchase, discount on purchase. Okay, so these are the some items like net purchases or net sales that are not mentioned here. If I mention here, it is okay. both are given as net purchases and net sales. And I told you net purchases means any sort of expenses that are made or purchases are excluded. Okay, and net sales means any sort of expenses that are made on sales are excluded, or even purchase return is excluded from purchases, or even sales return is excluded from sales. In that place, that are called as net purchases or net sales. So you can see that purchases is not having any returns, sales is not having any returns. So it may be possible that the return inward is deducted from sales, or return outward, that is purchase return, is deducted from the purchases. That is why it may be given in the trial balance as net purchases or net sales. So these were the 4 to 5 some newer items that you may come across and find it a bit confusing. So I have chosen this problem. Okay, if you want to solve other problems too, or you have any doubt, so you can send me those questions. I will love to clear your doubts. Okay, please see the video properly, read out the questions, understand the questions, then only go for calculation. Don't make any calculation or any presentation unprecise. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask me further. Okay, thank you.